On the deck of a ship, an 18-year-old boy stands alone, gazing back at the diminishing skyline of Hong Kong. He is leaving not by choice, but by necessity. Too many street fights, too many enemies made. The police know his name. His father has made the decision. He must journey across the ocean to America. With just $100 in his pocket and no one to turn to, he embarks on a path fraught with uncertainty. In America, he knows he won't fit in. The world around him belittles those who look like him, casting them as villains and servants in stories. But inside him burns a fierce determination, a speed and power waiting to be unleashed. This is the story of Bruce Lee, a man destined to shatter boundaries. Bruce Lee's journey begins on November 27, 1940, in San Francisco. However, he would not grow up there. His father, Li Hoi-Chuan, a renowned Chinese opera actor, was on tour when Bruce was born. Just 3 months later, the family returned to Hong Kong, where Bruce spent his childhood. The bustling city of Hong Kong, alive with energy, noise, and the vibrant sounds of Cantonese, molded him. It was a place where millions lived on a small piece of land, crammed between mountains and sea, with a father often away performing and a mother from one of Hong Kong's most powerful families. Bruce enjoyed a comfortable upbringing, but comfort failed to tame his spirit. Trouble always found him, or he sought it out. As an infant, he appeared in his first film, cradled in the arms of an actor. By his teenage years, he had already starred in nearly 20 films, deeply immersed in the dramatic world of performance. Yet the streets taught him a different lesson. In the 1950s, Hong Kong was rife with gang rivalry and street violence. Young men fought for control of neighborhoods. Small and thin, Bruce faced challenges and endured defeats, but losing was intolerable. Determined to change his fate, at 13, he chose to study Wing Chun, a martial art that emphasized speed, precision, and intelligence. His teacher, IP Man, was a legendary master, and under his guidance for 4 years, Bruce practiced daily, consumed by his passion. While his peers chased after girls or loitered in the streets, he relentlessly attacked a wooden dummy, bloodied knuckles, and aching arms, the price of his obsession. But fighting was still a part of his life. Joining a gang led him to a brutal confrontation with the son of a powerful family. When the police paid a visit to the Lee household, his parents understood the imminent danger. Bruce faced a grim future if he remained in Hong Kong. In 1959, with his parents' heavy hearts, they placed him aboard a ship bound for America. At just 18, Bruce found himself in San Francisco, a city he barely remembered. Armed with only $100 and the address of a family friend, he stepped into an unfamiliar world. Alone in a foreign land, he was met with a cold reality. In early 1960s America, Asian individuals were often treated as outsiders. Their roles in Hollywood, in the industry, white actors portrayed Asian characters in yellowface, while genuine Asian actors were relegated to roles of villains or comic relief. The message was embedded deeply. An Asian man could not be a hero. Bruce sensed this bias, felt the sting of exclusion. Rather than protest, he resolved to forge his path through undeniable talent. Moving to Seattle with almost nothing, he slept in a cramped room above a restaurant, working as a waiter. Despite the challenges, Bruce persevered. He completed high school while grappling with English, a language that didn't yet flow naturally for him. His thirst for knowledge led him to the University of Washington, where he studied philosophy. Bruce was not just a fighter, he was a thinker. He devoured literature on Western and Eastern philosophy, psychology, and various martial arts. His notebooks filled with ideas about combat. As he delved into philosophy, Bruce also began teaching martial arts. His small school welcomed students from all backgrounds: white, black, Asian, anyone eager to learn. This inclusive approach angered many traditional Chinese martial arts masters who believed Kung Fu should remain exclusive to Chinese students. They challenged Bruce, demanding he cease teaching outsiders. Undeterred, he fought back and won. Bruce was not merely a skilled fighter, he was an innovator. He refused to confine himself to a single martial art. Instead, he studied karate, judo, boxing, wrestling, and taekwondo, extracting the best from each discipline. What emerged was something revolutionary. He called it Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepting fist. This wasn't a rigid style, it was a philosophy, a fluid approach to combat. A fighter should be like water, adaptable. In 1964, Bruce showcased his extraordinary abilities at a martial arts tournament in Long Beach, California. His speed astonished the audience. He executed punches with blistering speed and could do push-ups on 2 fingers. The crowd watched in awe as he demonstrated techniques that defied belief. Among the spectators was a hairdresser for Hollywood producers who immediately recognized Bruce's potential. Bruce's moment arrived with an offer for a role in a television show called The Green Hornet. He starred as Kato, the hero's martial arts sidekick. The show aired in 1966 and 1967. While it achieved moderate success in America, it became a phenomenon in Hong Kong, where audiences eagerly tuned in to witness Bruce's electrifying performances. Yet despite his rising star status in Asia, Hollywood's producers appreciated Bruce's skills but refused to grant him leading roles. The unspoken truth was that an Asian man was not deemed worthy of stardom in 1960s Hollywood. Frustrated, Bruce pitched a television show concept about a kung fu master navigating the American West. The studio loved it, yet the lead role was awarded to a white actor. In a notable interview, he expressed his identity with pride. "I am Chinese." Despite the disappointment, he remained resolute, aware of the closed doors in Hollywood due to the color of his skin. So Bruce took matters into his own hands. If Hollywood wouldn't welcome him, he would create his own. In 1971, Bruce returned to Hong Kong, transformed from a troublemaker into a man of vision and intent. With a body capable of unprecedented feats, he produced a film titled The Big Boss. The low-budget action flick featured a simple narrative, a young man battling an oppressive factory owner. Expectations were low, but the film's release ignited. As the lights dimmed and the film began, viewers erupted with excitement. They had never witnessed such speed and intensity on screen. The raw energy captivated them, leading the film to break every box office record in Hong Kong. The exhilarating response transformed Bruce Lee into a cinematic icon, a hero who would pave the way for a new era in martial arts. Then came Fist of Fury. Then came The Way of the Dragon, a project Bruce Lee wrote, directed, and starred in. Each film he created surpassed the last, showcasing something unprecedented. An Asian man as the hero, the star, the most magnetic presence on screen. With a speed and intensity that made other action stars seem sluggish, Bruce's body became a weapon. Every muscle was defined, each movement precise, every strike explosive. And the world was captivated. Not just Asia, but every corner of the globe. From Africa to South America, Europe to the Middle East, people saw Bruce Lee and felt an awakening. Here was a man who defied the Hollywood mold. He was not white, not tall, not built like a typical action star, yet he radiated strength and excitement like no one before. In 1973, Bruce made Enter the Dragon, his first significant Hollywood production. This film was destined to shatter barriers, fusing the raw energy of Hong Kong kung fu with the grandeur of a blockbuster. Bruce was magnetic, unstoppable. The film was set to debut worldwide that summer, but fate had other plans. On July 20, 1973, Bruce Lee died in Hong Kong at just 32 years old. He had visited a friend, complained of a headache, took a painkiller, and lay down to rest, never to wake again. Doctors cited swelling of the brain, a rare reaction to medication. He was at the peak of his power, poised to become the planet's biggest star, and then, just like that, he was gone. The announcement sent shockwaves worldwide. In Hong Kong, disbelief swept through the streets. Special newspaper editions were printed, and thousands lined up for his funeral procession. Estimates suggest over 25,000 attended. Grown men openly wept, women fainted. The city that had once cast him aside now mourned its greatest son. A second funeral took place in Seattle, where he was laid to rest. Friends, students, and fellow actors carried his coffin, marking the end of an era. The world had lost something irreplaceable. Enter the Dragon premiered just 6 days after his death, earning over $300 million globally. It solidified Bruce Lee's status as the most famous martial artist in history, a title he still holds more than 50 years later. And so, the story of Bruce Lee comes gently to a close. He was the boy rejected by Hong Kong for his relentless fighting. The young man who arrived in America with nothing, told someone who looked like him could never be a star. The artist who revolutionized fighting. He refused to be confined to roles of servant, sidekick, or villain, ultimately claiming his place as the hero. Though he lived only 32 years, Bruce Lee transformed everything. He redefined how the world perceives martial arts and Asian men. He altered the landscape of cinema. He demonstrated that skill, speed, and spirit transcend color, nationality, and limitations. Perhaps you know the sting of being underestimated. Maybe someone has judged your potential based on your appearance, origins, or language. Perhaps learning English makes you feel like an outsider, standing before a closed door. If so, remember Bruce Lee. He didn't wait for that door to open, he kicked it down. Be water, my friend. Adapt, flow, navigate every obstacle, and when there's no way around, charge straight through. This is a story about resilience and determination. Tell me